why I believe that the U.S. or the small hatters are responsible for the death of the Iranian president. Alright, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bakaha Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this video is going to be about, why I believe that the U.S. or the small hatters are responsible for the death of the Iranian president. As you may know, this past Sunday, he was pretty much killed in a helicopter crash. And they say that the aircraft crashed due to technical failure. But I don't believe that the helicopter crashed due to technical failure. Now, there was no evidence of rockets hitting the helicopter. There was no evidence of, the helicopter being tampered with before it took flight. But here's the reason why I believe that the United States or the small hatters, Amalek, who's basically, this is why I believe they are responsible for the death of the Iranian president. Because, technology is highly advanced nowadays, And when you have highly advanced technology, especially when you have highly skilled hackers, anything can be possible. We have people who can hack into the account. I'm talking about online accounts of other people, access their information, their password, and everything else, and pretty much lock that person out of their own account. Okay? Now, if you paid close attention to that movie that came out called Leave the World Behind, okay, Leave the World Behind was basically about the U.S. being under a cyber attack, right? Now, there was a scene in the movie, obviously the Teslas, which were electric cars, were hacked and were programmed to go to particular areas, crash into one another, and create a blockade where people were unable to leave their own city or town or neighborhood by vehicle. Okay? But if you pay close attention to that movie, okay, at the very beginning of the movie, okay, it showed a ship, a cargo ship, basically crashing onto a beach. This was due to what? GPS, the GPS of the ship being hacked into. But what I really want to draw your attention to was the scene where, the so-called black guy, right? When he went to this area, okay, there was a scene where it showed airplanes where airplanes have crashed at. Okay, then he discovered, of course, the dead body of a person, a passenger, a pilot, whatever, that was aboard the airplane. And then in that scene, right, there was a scene that showed a helicopter, not a helicopter, but an airplane that was basically falling right out of the sky and getting ready to crash into the ground at its location. Now, of course, he ran from that area. He made it inside of the house before the plane crashed into the ground. But when I saw that particular scene right there, it led me to believe that the airplanes were hacked into by hackers and the engine was shut off. And when the engine was shut off, the airplane gradually lost altitude and crashed into the ground. Now again, nowadays, with how advanced technology is, anything is possible. When you look at that one game, Resident Evil 2 Remake, okay, there's a scene where it shows Ada Wong basically hacking into a propeller fan. Okay, she had this device, and basically she used it to hack the propeller fan of this thing, which caused it to go faster and faster and faster until the engine was overloaded and it exploded, causing the propeller of the fan to basically fly out of place. And she was able to advance through or exit through that area that the propeller fan was basically blocking. So what do you think I'm saying here? What I'm saying is that it's possible that the US or the JEWISH people over there in the land of Israel, they could have possibly hired some hackers. Maybe it was the CIA. But more than likely, I believe the engine of this of the helicopter that the president was in was hacked into, which caused the engine to shut off and then inevitably crash into the ground. Okay, I don't believe it was just some technical failure because, again, when you have a very important figure, especially like a president of your country, you're not going to just blindly put him into a helicopter. No, you're going to check the helicopter. You're going to make sure the engine is fine. You're going to make sure there's no bombs planted inside. You're going to make sure that your top trustworthy officials are with you. You're going to make sure the helicopter is able to fly. You're even going to test flight it. You're going to make sure that nothing is wrong with it, because that's a very important figure right there over there in the Middle East. So, here it is. You're going to put a very important figure on a helicopter that could possibly have a technical failure. So something is definitely fishy about this. I don't believe a helicopter with a very important figure is just going to crash into the ground, okay? And remember, okay, the U.S. has had a history of causing planes to crash with important figures in it when negotiations didn't go well with them. And we know that Iran has basically made threats previously in the past towards the U.S. that if the U.S. kept interfering by aiding the small hatters over there in the land of Israel with weapons and all that, that they would not be held guiltless. And we also know that we're living in a time where tensions are at an all-time high between the small hatters, the fake JEWs in our land, which is the land of Israel. All tensions are at all-time high between them and Iran. You know, we know that there has been an agenda to seize the development of uranium in the land of Israel. I mean, in the land of Iran, excuse me, in the land of Iran. Cease the development of uranium. To prevent Iran from making a nuclear warhead, which you're already too late on that. Of course, Iran have nuclear warheads, and according to Bible prophecy, they're going to use them on the land of Israel. Okay, so maybe they intend on stirring up chaos and disorder in the land of Israel by taking out the Iranian president. And we also know that presidential elections were coming up. And more than likely, they was going to put this guy back in office. So, of course, the U.S. or, the fake JEWs, of course, they could not allow that to happen, right? With these the Iranian, the Middle Eastern presidential elections coming up. So, I strongly believe that the U.S. or the small hatters are responsible for the death of the Iranian president. They say that it is technical failures. Well, if it was a technical failure, who caused it? Who caused the technical failure? And again, when you have hackers that can hack into Teslas, of course they can hack into an airplane and shut off the engine, cause it to crash. That's happened many a times before in the past. So, it's nothing to hack into a helicopter and cause it to crash. And then you look at games like Overwatch. They have a character named Sombra who could basically hack people, cause their equipment to shut off so they can't use it. So what? You don't think machines can be hacked into? Okay. Because we also got to remember, a lot of helicopters, even though they might run on gas, it does not mean they cannot be hacked into. A car don't have to be an electric car in order to be hacked into. If the engine of the car is controllable by computer, of course it can be hacked into. Because computers can be hacked into. So the car can run off of gas. Okay, but if it can be controlled by a computer that can make it self-drive, then you have a vehicle that can be hackable. Make it to where if the vehicle is hacked into, right? Well, your doors are not going to open, the windows are not going to roll down, your safety belt is not going to unbuckle, and ultimately, your vehicle is going to start driving at unbelievable speeds. Okay, your vehicle is going to be driving at 135 miles per hour, and it's going to be out of your control. You ain't going to be able to shut off your car because of the bug. And ultimately, when your vehicle crashes, you're going to die with it. Okay? It's going to crash. You're going to hear a loud boom. There's going to be an explosion followed by a fire. And you're going to be trapped in there to burn alive. So the guy, the Jake who got burned alive in that Tesla, is it possible that his vehicle was hacked into? And furthermore, all you got to do is just go to YouTube. There's plenty of vehicles of Tesla's malfunctioning. Is it really a malfunction, or was the Tesla hacked into by the government to see if they can hack into the Tesla and make it go out of control? Okay. See, okay. Teslas. Losing control and crashing. Because I've looked into this before. Okay. Tesla driver loses control as car speeds down street, causing 2 deaths. So was this Tesla hacked into? You know? And again, when you hack into a Tesla, you can make it increase speeds. You can put a bug in it that makes the doors not open, the safety belts unbuckle. So see, here's the Tesla, right? And here it goes, look. Suddenly it starts to speed up. Zoom, look at that. You see that? See, it crashes right into that guy right there. Bam. You know. So who's to say that these Teslas are not secretly being hacked into to see if they can be controlled? Hmm? 3 injured after Tesla driver loses control, crashes into garage. Loses control. Was his car hacked into? Out of control Tesla crashes through convention
Video
center.
shows the moment an out-of-control Tesla drives into an Ohio convention center. Surveillance video at the Greater Columbus Convention Center caught a 2020 Tesla Model S slamming right through an exterior wall.
Okay. Speeding Tesla kills 2 in China. Car maker denies claims that brakes failed. No, I don't think it's that the brakes failed. The brakes were probably shut off through somebody hacking into the car. Because when you're dealing with electric cars, everything is can be controlled by the AI, even the brakes. How else does a self-driving car know to slow down by itself? The brakes. Brakes are controlled by the AI, man. So the AI was hacked into. Blamed for deadly crash, you know. Video shows Tesla autopilot failing at site of fatal March crash. Tesla driver dies after crashing into fire truck. This is what I'm talking about.
Well, we now have video of the moment that a Tesla in self-driving mode started braking unexpectedly. on the Bay Bridge, causing 8 cars to pile up.
Yeah, it was a mess. Right towards Amanda
It
Harriman.
just started breaking. Isn't that what we witnessed in Leave the World Behind? You know, the Teslas, self-driving Teslas found an area to basically stop at, and then all of the other Teslas behind it basically crashed into that one, creating what? A blockage. So people could not leave that city by vehicle. So I mean, pretty much the point has been made. I'm gonna leave off with this scripture right here. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Okay. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so we're not ignorant to the devices of Satan. You know? So I believe his helicopter was hacked into by hackers that was sent by the U.S. or some small headers in the land of Israel. And I believe the engine was shut off, causing the helicopter to crash. You know, but that's just me though. As time passes on, more will be revealed. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next.